A tricky one today for men's mental health, talking about things that affect us, and I've been talking about it with Tom Paine, Mark McKenzie and Dom Atkins here at BFBS, and I don't know if you have one. A mantra?
I just try and be kind, mate. Be kind to people. As long as you're nice, like, what does it matter?
I think if you can go through your day-to-day life and you help people by the end of it, at some point you've helped someone, I think that's quite a good mantra to have. You know, as long as you're helping people in whatever it is you're doing.
It's the little things, isn't it? Sometimes it's the little.
Is that your mantra? It's the little things.
Yeah. Well, it's got me through this far.
Every little helps was already taken.
The size of the thing doesn't matter.
So you shouldn't have asked that question. You've uncorked all sorts now. Which, by the way, is my mantra.
You shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have done it. No. It's hard, isn't it? Because Tom was saying, like, I love the idea of helping somebody. And I think when somebody says, why did you get into radio? My answer to that is always, because I love making somebody's day, man. If I'm doing a competition and I get to tell somebody they've won a weekend away here, or they've won 250 quid here, or whatever, that feeling is amazing, that you've done something for somebody. Or even if you've just played a tune that they love, you've made somebody's day. And I think that it's not a mantra, but like what Tom's saying, just helping somebody, you can't beat that, can you?
So does this job, you say, Tom, you've only been doing it for a few years. So when did you realise that radio was for you?
When I'm 24 now, but when I was about 18, I left school and I went and worked in construction. Yeah. And although the company I was working for was really caring about me and they loved me adoringly and I loved them, my mental health was shocking. It was absolutely awful. It was at a point which it should have never have got to. I was so naive as to how damaging, you know, your work-life balance can be and loneliness can be. So my mental health was awful at this point, and we're probably at about 2020. And just by pure fluke, Dom, I'd started listening to the radio because the Bluetooth in my truck cab, because I used to be a truck driver, the Bluetooth in my truck cab had broken, and I was listening to the radio, and the presenters that were talking, they just made me smile and they made me laugh. And I hadn't been doing a lot of that at the time. So I started getting loads of shout-outs and I started calling on to this national radio station all the time, like constantly. I was like a sort of famous listener amongst that radio station. And I realised that every time I got a shout-out or I called in, it brought my confidence back to me and it brought a little piece of me back. And it got to a point where my mental health was no longer a problem. I was fine again after about a year of doing this. And I thought, I want to have that same impact on other people. That impact that radio presenters had on me, I wanted to do that. And I still do want to do that. That's the only thing I care about doing.
So many people would have gone to therapy and talked about how they were feeling and everything else. You called a national radio station and that helped your self-esteem. That's quite the step. And genius, by the way.
And developed in the process a beautiful mantra in helping people.